Come on, follow me, follow me.
Welcome back to another episode of Kingdom Kids, no ordinary podcast experience. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Corey Dixon, and this is my lovely, beautiful, talented, and anointed wife, Gwendolyn Dixon.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. So, without further ado, you're in for a treat. We're starting our new series entitled The Marriage Series, and we're going to be talking about what it means to be married, what it looks like to be married, what a kingdom marriage looks like, the ups and downs, ins and outs, the beauty of marriage, anything pertaining to marriage we are going to be addressing in these coming episodes. My wife put together a lovely questionnaire full of questions that she sent out to different people to get feedback, and I'll let her tell you more about it.
Yes, I'm so excited. So, some of you guys have the questionnaire, and we thank you first and foremost for just participating in this and sharing your answers. Most importantly, being obedient to this assignment, because we know that anytime which we are doing, you just begin to, whether it's deconstruct the beliefs and untruths about marriage, and then being able to use your experience to minister, even through your questionnaires, to others to strengthen marriage. We know that it can come with some attacks. So we thank you for doing this, and we look forward to your answers. Yeah, but this is definitely going to be the first time we answer this in front of you guys, with you guys, and I'm excited about where God is taking us on this journey, because it's a journey.
It is a journey. It's been a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
I like to tell people we've been married for 10 years and we just now getting to our honeymoon phase.
Yeah, honestly. So, and I remember, like when God dropped this in my spirit, honestly, for those that have the questionnaire, that's 34 questions. And we're going to post it on our social medias, but for everyone else. And then also it'll be in the bio for this series, this episode. But I didn't have nothing. There was so much that I thought I was going to be able to speak to. And it was like everything just went silent. And then so just the other day when you guys got the questionnaire, that's when God just downloaded all of these things. And so we encourage you to send more questions that you guys would want to know. But nevertheless, it's definitely going to be a ride. We're going to series this out. We'll have some amazing people, couples come and share with us their journey. So I'm looking forward to it. Y'all stay with us.
All right. So without further ado, the marriage series questionnaire. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. What?
I'm sorry. Disclaimer. We're not counselors. We're not professionals. We're just two married people sharing our stories. We have to do the disclaimer. That's all.
We ain't have to do a disclaimer.
We have to do a disclaimer.
I mean,
we are not professionals.
Yeah, we're professionals in real life.
In real time. Okay, go ahead, babe. Sorry.
Yeah. Not professionally trained. Is that what you're looking for?
I just want to let people know we are here learning and sharing. That's it. If you watch our shows, previous episodes, that's one thing we make sure to explain, that we are here sharing.
So, therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. Mark 10. This questionnaire is designed to inspire, to reflect, and to grow in your understanding of a God-given marriage. We want you to be honest. We want you to be open. And most importantly, we want you to be led by God. So as my wife mentioned, this is going to be the first time we do this on air. We didn't write ours down, so they're coming straight from the heart, as raw as they're going to be. Sit back, put on your seatbelt, take some notes if you need to. Press rewind, run it back if you got to do that.
Yeah.
So out of the 34 questions, we're going to stay in the realm of the first 4, which is under the beliefs section. And so question number 1 says, what does it mean to be equally yoked?
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Dixon.
You answer first.
I gotta read and answer.
You didn't have to read. I can read.
Can you read? Well, ask me the question. Let me get in my question answer mode.
Okay. So, what does it mean to be equally yoked in your belief? What did you believe?
I believe that it means to be equally yoked. You have to be spiritually yoked together. There has to be a common bond between you two that holds you together. Um, I've known this for a long time, and to be equally yoked comes from scripture where it talks about yoking. You know, the thing you put on your neck, which farmers used to do in order to plow.
Mm-hmm.
That yoke, you would have to yoke like animals together. You would have to have an ox and an ox, not an ox and a fox, not an ox and a goat, not an ox and a donkey, an ox and an ox. So spiritually speaking, it would have to be, in my opinion, worshipers of Jesus Christ, understanding the lordship and the governance of the kingdom of heaven. So that's what it means to be equally yoked to me.
Okay, and before you knew the spiritual aspect of the truth, what did you believe it meant when you heard
I didn't care what it meant.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't even know that there was something to know about being equally yoked. I believe the understanding came at a time where I would be able to understand and comprehend what it means to be unequally yoked.
Yeah.
And I think about King Solomon, a perfect example of why we want to be equally yoked, is that even though he was the wisest king to ever live, or the wisest person to ever live, he married 700 wives and 300 concubines. Now, some of this was political for alliances, but however, what he did is he began to build shrines and temples and idols to these pagan gods that his wives and concubines worshipped. And so it said that it led his heart astray by trying to please them. So that's a huge reason why you're not to be unequally yoked, even though you may think I know better. In time, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. And if you're living to please your spouse rather than pleasing the Lord, this is the trap you fall into.
So you've known that, right? And being and understanding. So when you originally got married, your first marriage, were you considering you, because you said you knew that? So did that play a part in your choosing?
It did. I don't think I was looking for a worshiper at heart. I think I was looking for more somebody that said it. And as long as you said it, that was enough proof, right?
Said what? That they love God.
That they love God. Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, okay, you love God, cool.
You love God, I love God.
You know, me too, we go together. And so that was about the extent. I didn't know that it goes further than that, or a true love for God, or a true desperation and a hunger and a thirst for righteousness.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe what I did know, the little bit I did know, I would be able to teach her that, and you know, we'd live happily ever after type thing. Yeah. So I sort of ignored the red flags.
Yeah, the truth.
Yeah, the truth. And that's not to put everything on her, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I knew better.
And when I say you ignore the truth, because I don't put my mouth on that, but when I say you ignore the truth is what it means to be equally yoked. Yeah. And that's the word.
Right. So what about you? Don't try to own me and move on to the next question.
No. You're good if you want to keep going.
No, You, what does it mean to be equally yoked?
For me, my belief prior to now was really more like-mindedness in surface things. Somebody that hustle like me, somebody that, you know, was just, you know, into the things that we balance each other, you know, we mesh well, those things, family, you know, love, children, just that person. But then now today, what I believe is it is spiritual, more spiritual alignment, you know, That's what I believe it means to be equally yoked, just spiritual alignment,
Mm-hmm.
to just in a nutshell. So I don't have no whole who bop the bam like you, but
I had a who wop the bam. I don't think I had a who wop the
no,
bam.
I mean you had a good long answer, but mine's is short
Well, you
and
kept
sweet.
asking me questions.
Yeah, no, you answered. You
You
answered.
wouldn't
Your
let me
answer is
loose.
your answer.
You wouldn't let me
No,
loose.
your answer is your answer. Go ahead.
So, belief number 2. In your belief, what does it mean to be one?
Glad you asked. No, what I believe to be one is today. I believe it is a becoming. I believe that it is not spiritually. We're one once we enter into the covenant, but I believe that it is a becoming. Um, and now here goes my long answer, because when you are in your singleness, there's a lot of things that you have to die to self. So you have to shed. And then because you're married, you learn how to become that one. But it's a lot that comes with that becoming. For instance, I knew how to be single, I had to learn how to become a wife. And then not just a wife, but I had to learn how to become a wife to Corey. Same thing for you. It's like you had to learn, and so, and then throughout your marriage, you're constantly learning each other. You're constantly becoming that one, um, and it's like never ending. You turn a year older, I turn a year older. I knew the 45-year-old me, but I'm 46 now, so I have to learn the 46-year-old me. But now it's not just me learning the 46-year-old me in my singleness. It's me learning me and then me learning you. And every year as we evolve, different phases of our life, I'm using age as an example, but it's just different phases of our life. We have to learn the new person, and especially in the spiritual aspect, who God is, you know, grooming and processing us to be, what He's called us to be. And that's if, I'm speaking more on a faith based relationship, but yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what we're here
Yeah.
for. What it means to be one. And my answer would be similar to your answer. And also, I believe it's a painstakingly task to become one. Because it's also a merger. It takes a lot of death to self. A lot of death to self. And then there's the merging. You know what I'm saying? What's cut out now has to be grafted back into. And so it's getting to know intimately the person you're in relationship with. Being one means you have one direction. There's no way you could be one and you got multiple directions.
Exactly.
You can't have multiple visions. You can't have multiple leaders. You understand? But there's a submission to where you're both leading, but you're leading toward that same common goal and purpose.
Yeah.
And even in the multiple visions, is one vision at a time, and those visions must again end up at the same goal, purpose, and intent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And that's the thing, too. It's like, even with the becoming one, it is more so becoming one in Christ, becoming aligned with Christ's purpose, His design. And I think a lot of times that one of the biggest things in the becoming is grief. And it doesn't have to. It's not a bad thing, but it is. You're, like you said, that shedding. You're losing a part of your life that you've known longer. For me. So there's a for me, the becoming is a beautiful thing once you get to that. You know what I mean? I think it's just one of those things where you gotta actually, we're here now, but I don't believe that in this life.
Right.
The one thing that we have to master in marriage is that. Go ahead.
So I was listening to you talk, and I was thinking that you can mourn or grieve a life lost.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the whole point of being married, that it holds no weight to what I'm about to gain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's Bible. It's leave to cleave. And a lot of times I don't think that, of course, if you're not, like you say, line upon line, precept upon precept, if you don't understand the context, and a lot of times we surf or we take it out. And that leave to cleave is literally you are detaching.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then that was a hard thing I had to learn. And it took me midway, you know what I mean, to start getting that detaching. And that detaching doesn't necessarily mean that you forget about them, never see it again, never da da da. Old life, yes. But when it comes to family, it's more everybody is prioritizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, and even with old life, not everything has to stay behind.
Right.
Some things are good to carry,
right,
with you.
Right.
But it has to be something that is going to be beneficial for your oneness.
Right.
In that becoming.
Right.
It can't be a selfish or selfish decision that I just don't want to let this go.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things that you have to let go in order to become one, or you won't. You'll just be together, but not one, and it's a difference.
I got so many things that I want to say that are going through my mind right now. They want to be rude and cut you off.
No, you good.
I forgot a couple of them, but one of the things. As I hear you speak of all the time, which is true, is that the enemy hates oneness. He hates the marriage. He hates the unity of what we represent, and it is a picture of Christ's love for the church. It's that oneness. It's the oneness that Christ shared with the Father while he walked this earth.
Yeah.
It's a power and a beauty in that oneness.
Yeah.
And also, what I was going to say, oneness doesn't mean that you lose your individuality. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not possible because that's where, again, it gets back into understanding who you are and in Christ. When you understand who you are, there's a uniqueness that you understand that nobody in the world, like you were talking about the crayons, it's a lot of blues. But it's only one blue like me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you understand that, then that uniqueness is something that, again, the person that you're equally yoked with doesn't challenge, wouldn't ask you to shrink. You know what I'm saying? They're not intimidated by it.
Right.
They understand that it's a part of. It's actually a beautiful inheritance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's an enhancement to you.
Right.
Or to me. So, yeah, I believe that's something that is a given, but it needs to be said because a lot of people may not. Let me say that.
And again, even in that, it's still you share life, but then you still have those things that make you uniquely you that my spouse doesn't necessarily have to take upon themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love football. I love watching sports.
And I don't.
And you don't.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can try and get into my world. You love interior design and decorations and can look at it and flip through it. I'm not going to watch a show with you. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might catch one or two just to spend time, but I can't see me saying, hey, babe, let's watch this. You know? I can't see that.
Yeah.
But even those small things like that, those are things that even as young couples, you'll argue over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And oneness doesn't necessarily mean uniformity. It just means unity.
Yeah, and I think that that's exactly what it has to mean. It has to mean more of a unity and a oneness. And like I said, when we understand purpose in the design, then it makes sense. Again, we can really, teeter-totter relate it. It's church. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? It's
Mhm.
body.
Mhm.
And it's part of God's design.
Mhm.
All of this is part of God's design.
Right.
So ultimately, it should all lead into forming.
Christ.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe too. And I believe that's why I said you have to have a common destination or common worship,
Mm-hmm.
which speaks again to being equally yoked.
Mm-hmm.
Which now this may sound controversial. We know that scripture says that the husband is the head of the wife. My thing is, I believe just because of what I'm becoming to understand a woman's role or a wife's role is in the life of the husband, that there's a common submission that happens between the husband and the wife,
Mm-hmm.
to where it's like we both lead, we both are submitted. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a beautiful, you lead, I lead, you submit, I submit, and it's because we're headed toward that common worship goal. You see what I'm saying? To where it's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about this thing that God has given us to cultivate together in this life that we lead together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's why I said that for me, understanding we're one, but then those are all of the what they don't say, what they don't tell us,
Right.
which is the whole purpose in us doing, not the sole purpose,
Who's
but
they?
They is them.
Who's them?
Them, that they, thou theyeth.
The opinionated.
No, it's
individuals?
just, whatever formed or shaped your belief is they.
Okay.
Whomever
Okay.
formed or shaped your belief, whether, and we're getting ready to get into the next question, so I won't jump the gun too quick, but this is a lot of the things that I don't believe we're prepared for, whether it's your family, your parents, mother, father, whomever, when it comes to marriage and just really getting off the surface stuff. Because we hear about the surface stuff.
I don't know if it's just me. I'm not old fashioned, right? Wife should be barefoot in the kitchen cooking, that type thing, right? I don't see marriage old fashioned that way. I believe that a woman has something to contribute and something to offer. And I'm not speaking financially. I'm speaking just on an overall. I believe that a strong woman is a strong woman and created by God to be such. You know what I mean? You think of the Proverbs 31 woman. She wasn't, just limited to the house.
Mm-hmm.
She was out in the marketplace making things happen.
Mm-hmm.
She was just a phenomenal woman. And so when I think of marriage, even when I think of you, and that's one thing that stole my heart. I saw you as a Proverbs 31 woman. The way that you handle business, the way that you always had visions and ideas. Saying that to say this, you were talking about whoever shaped our ideas and our opinions. I'm not sure where I got all of mine from. I think some was observation, some was just reading the word, and some was culture. You know what I mean? I've just seen a mixture of marriages that worked, and each one of those marriages looked differently.
Yeah, and the same for me. But I can't say that I honestly, and that's why I said my answer was a little shorter, because I can't see that becoming one. For me, I just felt like naturally flowed into the mindset of equally yoked. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost like finding your other half, And so because we're equally yoked, you know what I mean? You're the yoke that's missing and making me whole. And so that's kind of was like, that's just where I'm at with it when it comes to the oneness. But ultimately for me, the core is a oneness, just one body in Christ. And that's you see how
many members, one body.
And that's the thing. And we're gonna go there with that one because you could open that up.
Yeah. I mean, and that's how I see marriage, and that's why I said I'm not old fashioned to limit or to be so opinionated that it takes away from the dopeness in which God has designed you.
Yeah.
You understand
And
what
I
I'm
had
saying?
to. I'm not gonna lie. I had to grow, and I'm still growing in that aspect because, honey, as much as I would like to say I'm not old fashioned, in that sense I am. And that comes from tradition. One of the things that, again, this is a beautiful series, just a beautiful assignment that God has given us, and everyone that's tapped in, because it allows us to just deconstruct some of these things that traditionally I can say I'm more old fashioned. I saw men doing certain things, men behaving a certain way, men, you understand. But then I also saw women, and my mom was, she's was notorious. That's the word I want to say, for catering to men, whether it was her husbands or her brothers or her uncles. She's cooking for them. She's fixing their plates. They had wives standing around, and it's just like, why are you fixing their plates? The men ate first, the children, or you know what I mean, or either the children and the men, but it was men, children, children, men. Either way it goes, like I seen the women do more catering, and so, but I seen men do what I thought would do manly things. You know what I mean? They were very good with their hands. When it comes to just, even just being able to keep up around the house. When it came to just protecting, we felt safe. They wasn't big rah-rah people, you know what I mean? But it was one of those that you knew what it was when they spoke. It was just a respect thing there. And they wasn't catty. They didn't do the back and forth. I never really saw my uncles arguing and beefing and all of that with women. I just never seen like a lot of those things. So for me, it cultivated me a mindset of my expectations. Of my expectations of what a man is. They worked. They took care of their families. So it was just those things. But again, I had to grow and learn, and especially being married, I've had to learn how to not put unfair expectations on you, or, and just kind of allow God, like my prayer, it's like, teach me how to be not just a wife, but I had to put a name on that.
Right.
And it's Corey's wife.
And that's why I asked, because like I can fix certain things, but I'm not Mr. Fix It. You know what I'm saying?
This is not your thing, Al.
No, I mean I can fix certain things, but I'm not Mr. Fix It. Like a toilet, I can fix a runny toilet. You know what I'm saying? The stuff like that. You have
learned, yes.
I've learned because I had somebody to teach me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's another thing I was going to ask her. Well, where they learn that from? Right. You understand what I'm saying?
And it's handed down things. Another thing I had to, learn.
I had a mentor who taught me how to fix it. Like, we took the shower out, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Put it back in. You know what I mean? The little bit I know about building, we put a tool shed together for my mama for Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So measurements and things like that. That was somebody taught, somebody had taught me. You know what I mean? And once they taught me, I get it. I know it. It's not like I can't. It's like nobody taught me. Right. And that's not an excuse. Right. It's just real. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it is. And I can say the same thing even on the, like, what I was taught is that's what I demonstrated. What I was taught. Right. And then having to realize, like, that's not okay. Or it's just been times where I'm like, you're awful. You know what I mean? But, a lot of that, it was just learned behavior that it's not even so much of saying this is how you should be, but it's just what I saw. And that's the thing, being able to come together. And I think we even do it when it comes to, people, men, women of the clergy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, and I have found myself, really having to just get before God and just allow Him to deal with me, even when it comes to that, because I'm so used to tradition being a certain way that I couple it. You know what I mean? If you were a pastor, if you were a minister, if you were a bishop, you were this. It was like my brain instantly went to, you're one of them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As I began to learn more truths, I just associated the titles with this tradition, you know what I mean, that I was raised up in a box.
Yeah.
And so God is still having to work with me on that.
Right.
But again, just tearing down and deconstructing a lot of these things that we believed versus the truth.
And the reason I went there is because we're talking about oneness, and I wanted to talk about some things that hinder the oneness.
Yeah.
And expectations, or false expectations,
Mm-hmm.
or unmet expectations.
Yeah.
Are definitely there at the top of the list that
Yeah.
keeps you from becoming one.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like you were
is
saying,
one.
how you were saying, how you were saying, I had to pray to be Corey's wife, not just a wife.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm uniquely designed. You understand what it ain't two of me in this world. World probably couldn't handle two.
The word definitely can't handle two of me.
So, ooh, and that's a word.
And that'll preach, and that's fine.
But,
I would be mad if it was two of me.
But no, seriously, is I am who I am.
Yeah.
And it's taken me years to be comfortable with who I am, my quirkiness, my the way that I carry myself.
Yeah.
The way I tend to myself. You know what I'm saying?
And I would even correct that statement and say that today we should be able to say, because I can.
Yes.
I am who God calls me to be.
Yes.
I'm who God calls me, period.
Right.
And that's again, one of those untruths. Even with who I think I am,
Mm-hmm.
I am not that. Mm-hmm. I am who God calls me to be.
And that's what I'm meaning that
I know,
in the
but
positive.
I just want to put it out there.
Yeah,
right?
I'm meaning that in the positive.
Yeah.
I'm not saying shortcomings, and that's why I said quirkiness. You know, those things that make me weird, those things that make me stand out, the peculiarness. You know what I'm saying? Not sin. Not saying, you know what I mean, this how I am, and I'm not on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just speaking about those unique qualities and tendencies that make Corey. You know what I'm saying? So moving on. Next question. Premarital counseling. Yes? No?
Yes for me. It's a yes for me, with so many contingencies, but the way that you explained it, we were talking earlier, any form of preparation and just being able to analyze and speak about the just all of the things that the possibilities, the realities, the psychological, all of the things that we may experience, preparing someone for that, I believe is very beneficial. But the contingency is, I believe that a lot of times the biblical aspect is the surface biblical aspect is addressed. And then these things you can kind of expect, but the meat and potatoes of the number one thing for me is, like, if you're going to get counseling, I just suggest you really pray on who, because they don't tell you about the attacks of the enemy, especially speaking to Christian kingdom marriages. They don't tell you about that. Like, and the extent. You say the vow, for better or for worse, sickness and health. But the reality, you're going to touch all of them. At some point in your marriage, you're going to touch it.
And I don't think, and I'm not even being argumentative. I'm just saying, I don't think some people can't foresee how intense that battle is going to be for
No,
certain
no,
people.
no, no, no.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's like I can speak to it, but I don't know
That's
how
it.
intense
Yeah.
that's going to be for you. You know what I'm saying?
And even that's preparation.
Yeah.
Like, we say for better or for worse, but the reality is, I don't know what that worse is going to look like.
For you.
For you, I don't
Right.
know what that's going to look like. In sickness or in health. Is sickness going to be cancer?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What
Mhm.
was it?
COVID.
COVID.
Mhm.
You got your foot crunched up in a machine.
And that's still funny to you. How is that
It's
funny?
not funny. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, still dealing with anxiety.
You didn't laugh when you said that?
No, because yours was it wasn't funny when it happened.
It's still not funny.
It was. I'm not laughing at the fact that you got
What you laughing at then? Because you laughing too hard.
Just the transition of me coming to grips with that. It was.
With my Freddy Krueger foot. That's what you called it. Don't touch me with your Freddy Krueger foot.
That's not Will.
See what I go through?
It's not that.
Y'all prayed for.
No, because be honest, I took care of your foot. I wrapped your foot. I made sure you were okay when I had to. But then the healing part of it, I don't know. It was subconsciously. It just made me jump.
Mm-hmm.
It made me jump in my sleep
Mm-hmm.
because I started thinking about Freddy Krueger. But anyhow, to the point, you getting off subject. The point is,
Okay.
we don't know what that looks like, what your for worse looks like. We don't know what everybody's here for the better. Everybody's here for the good.
Mm.
But we don't know that. So I'm agreeing with you that
But you laughing.
I'm over it.
Okay.
Just come on. What's the next? Where are we at?
You didn't ask me.
What you was answering it
No, I wasn't.
about counseling. You said I don't want to be.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. They don't know how bad your worst is gonna be. They don't know how. They don't know what your sickness and then health will look like.
Right.
You know. So I don't feel like they don't speak to it. They just don't know the depths of it. And then when it comes, you know, it's not like you weren't prepared.
Yeah.
Or you didn't know. You just didn't know it was gonna be. This for worse.
Yeah, worse.
Yeah.
And then two, I believe that experience, and you know, we can't necessarily assume that every marriage has a worse. My presumption is it comes from understanding when we're talking about kingdom marriages, when we're talking about marriages that are of the faith, we know that the enemy hates it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what your attack looks like, and neither am I speaking that over anyone. But we know that he is not coming after people that he has. And so anytime you are actually becoming one and a reflection of Christ, you know what I mean? I just would imagine that there is a lot of attacks that come with that. And so if I were, which we're not professionals, but if I were to speak to someone where I am today, that would be an emphasis on just staying armored, stay ready. That's what I mean, you know. And I didn't receive that. You might have, but I didn't receive that.
You did.
I didn't receive that.
You did. You heard it. Whether you received it, I can't say if you received it, but you heard it. I heard it.
Who told you?
Each of the counseling sessions we went to. But the fact of the matter is,
no,
we had we had so much inner work to do that's you know what I'm saying?
I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, especially that marriage boot camp. It was expensive. I wouldn't do it again.
It was expensive. They said
but the quality of that was really life changing for me.
It was. It really was. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I would give him a shout out. I really would, because theirs was more impactful because they used their real life experience. And some of the things that they said, it was although I don't believe at the time, but it was some things that literally take 90% of the marriages out. And that's the other thing I meant to bring up too, the statistics on, um, we'll get to that. But yeah, so they use real life experiences that typically will knock a marriage out. And because of that, I could appreciate the transparency in what they were saying. It's like somebody trying to tell you how to raise a kid
Mm-hmm.
and they ain't got kids.
Mm-hmm.
You can't learn that from a book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how long you go to school, how many degrees you get. Nobody can tell you how to raise a child without being,
Yeah, it was. But for me, premarital counseling is a must. Whether it be by means of professional, whether it be by means of mentors, whether those mentors are your parents, grandparents. I definitely believe that before committing, that you have someone in your ear who's telling you what to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Because worst case scenario or best case scenario, depends on how you look at that. You realize that you're unequally yoked. You realize, okay, I'm not prepared to be one with someone. Oh, it's more to it than just sex. It's more to it. You know what I'm saying?
Having a baby, or because I got a baby, and all the other things, or because of this, and a lot of times people do that. Yeah.
So that's why I am definitely on board for premarital counseling. Counseling we received was after marriage.
Yeah,
so
and even
it was during.
Yeah.
It's like when, as if something got to happen.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna say that's even a bad thing, because I believe, like with any God.
I was just making the distinguish of.
No, you're right. You're right.
Counseling.
But I think that premarital, and since we're still talking about counseling, it's like you saying about having different spiritual gifts that operate in the church, or different what I call auxiliaries, whatever. Then it has to be a continued education. Which is what I'm hoping to be able to get out of this consistently. Is just a village. It doesn't have to be. It's not so much of people in your business, none of that, or I need you to tell me how to be this, but just accountability.
Right.
And part of being accountable is getting back to God's original plan, his original design, not what they say, them say. You understand? But what does God say?
Right.
And if he say it, if he said it, he's settles it.
And let's move to number 4.
Okay.
It says, before expecting something from your spouse, have you become the husband or wife you believe God is calling you to be?
How do you understand that?
I understand it before I say, Lord, change her, fix me.
Yeah.
That's what I hear when I hear that.
Yeah.
So.
That's exactly what it means. It means that for me, which I can't even say that, because I was about to lie. I did pray, and I did go to God, and I did ask him, about preparing me to be a wife, about my husband, revealing and discernment, all the things. But then I didn't ask him to show me the wife that he's designed and created me to be for his glory, for you. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so we go to God and we pray and we ask all of these things, but I did not ask for the preparation of being prepared for what came with it. I was surfing. And so that's important, because without being in alignment with who God has assigned you to be as a wife, I will never see the husband. You know what I mean?
Right.
My lenses were always going to be blurry until
I saw me.
Yeah, until I could see me. Because seeing, again, back to the oneness. seeing me should be seeing you. Seeing you should be seeing me.
Right.
And then
But
we
you
should
can't
be
see
seeing
that
Christ.
but you can't
Exactly.
see that through the goggles of offense.
Of all the things.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very hard to see the heart and the need of somebody when I'm offended.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But if we can get past the offense, we can see why they offended.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it changes our approach.
Yeah.
It changes our answer. And one thing about that is, man, it's a lot of death in this.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of death to self. It's a lot of death to self.
Yeah, constantly dying, because the enemy is constantly looking for that crack. He's constantly looking for that place to slither in and create doubt, create a wedge, create all of these things. And our humanity is going to do what it does. Let's be honest. But knowing the truth, knowing the truth and not checking it, that's where all of these things begin to manifest. And so one isolated incident turns into years.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I'll be honest and tell anybody that was our story.
Mm-hmm.
Out of 11 years together, 10 years married, 8 of them was just chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just full of lies.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we just had to get tired and thank God for our foundation of just saying, listen, something got to give.
Right.
You know? And like you were saying earlier, it's like, I ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Okay, well, you know, unless we're just going to be insane till we die, it's, you know, it had to be a breakthrough.
Right. And
the moment that we realized these been attacks, this been set up, these been traps, and then we realized, it's, for me, I'm speaking for you, but I'm saying for me, I realized one day I was like, it's got to be something powerful with us. Like, with our oneness.
Right.
Because why is he trying so hard? Why does he come for us so hard?
Right.
And once I realized that, I made the decision, you know, to do what I know best, and that's just go get at his feet. And then you came, and then we both was like, okay, we're on to you, you know? And so, but I think in during that time, it was still preparation. We were just dying, and it's painful. And it was easy to blame you. You blame me because, like we said, there's a grief that comes with losing what you've always known, even as distorted as it could be.
Right. It
was comfortable, but this became scary, and
because it was normal to anger was a normal go-to. Giving up on a relationship was easier. You know, whatever that. So relying on all those easy things is like, okay, I ain't got that no more. So it's like, how do I stand?
Yeah.
And now it's, how do I fight?
Yeah.
Without destroying my person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, how do I be heard without having to scream?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So learning all those things.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, being able to sit with God about you and who he called you to be as a spouse, that in itself is going to, it's like what's his name, Pastor Mike, he got a song, God don't fix it, just fix me. If you fix me, I'll fix it. And I love that, the way that he has that analogy, because that's in real time.
Right.
And especially as being one. So that question is very important, because like I tell you all the time, God had me at a point, really, which was where our turning point was, where it was like, he kept saying, mind your business. And I didn't understand that. One of our marriage counseling at the church that we were members of, and something that they said was like, you know, you're one, you know, his business is your business is his business. But then literally shortly after that, I started hearing God say, mind your business. And I'm like, what? I'm like, he is my business. You know,
Mhm.
then you did, hey, that's,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't understand it for a minute, and then one day it was like he just a little bit more plainer. There is yours and Corey's business. There is me and your business. There is me and Corey's business.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's me, you, and Corey's business.
Mm-hmm.
So just, again, putting that into proper perspective. And
Mhm.
you know, it's like there's a time where I need wife. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a time where I'm not calling you to this. This is a me and Corey thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that, it was like, okay. But it took me a minute to be able to get that.
Mm-hmm.
But what he did was also showed me what would happen if I paid attention to my assignment as a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Him getting me together.
Right.
And that's where I'm talking about I felt like I was drugged.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like drug, drag, punch, beat, all the things. But I thank God for it. Because it's a beautiful oil that still continues to process and flow.
You know, you was talking about that, and I was gonna say, you know what used to make me mad?
What?
To the point I just roll my eyes. It used to make me mad when you used to send me TikTok videos of what a man's supposed to be and a husband, and I'm like, these Negroes, you think these Negroes, they looking for likes?
Woo!
I'm like, if you don't, man, listen.
And now you be sending them to me.
I don't.
Well, not in that aspect.
I don't.
It's more ministry though.
I
but
don't.
if something hit, yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
You
it's all ministry. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all or something we already talked about. You know what I'm saying? And I'll send it to you. But I don't be sending nothing to be like, hey, this you need this word for you. I don't do that. I don't do that. But that used to make me so mad.
But you know what? I didn't have any language for it then. And that was really what it was. I didn't have the language for it. And so my intention, I'm telling you, was okay, it's like if you hear it from your own species, you'll believe it.
Oh.
That's what
your thought.
Yeah, that was my thought process then.
It didn't come across that way.
But you was doing a lot of rejecting too.
It didn't come across that way. It didn't come across that way at all.
Boy, we got stories.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
And the reason I say these things because I know we're not the only one to deal with it.
Absolute pettiness, petty baddies.
There's a husband getting those text messages and TikToks right now.
Or a wife.
Hey, boy.
Because,
it will get better.
No, it will get better. But I think, again, and I'm glad you actually brought that up because it's funny, I forgot about all that. But that's because we do, again, we try to seek, validation. We try to seek, even information and learning externally rather than internally. And internally, it begins with Christ. It begins in Genesis. Pick up your word. Go to your Bible. All of these things that we try to find in social media, you really will find in the Word of God. Because, again, we're talking about the God that ordained, the God that this is the beginning. And in the beginning.
That's cool. That'll be a perfect segue for the next set of questions because it starts with what do you believe a wife and a husband should be? And from that, I'd like to go into the original intent of what that first union looked like.
So we'll pause.
We'll save that.
We'll save that.
We'll save that.
I'm not mad at that. So, y'all, we are going to have a ball. I believe we are going to be blessed. We are going to be stretched. We are going to be better. And I thank God for this assignment because it's definitely, I'm telling you, I wrote the questions, but they flowed through me. God downloaded these, and so I have to actually sit with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to sit with them because I love this, that we're answering them in front of them. So I promise I did not just read thoroughly, just read and sit with them to answer.
We're going to get up out of here. We're going to continue this conversation. Look, you can catch us every Monday on YouTube, Kingdom Kids Nope. You can catch us on our Facebook, Kingdom Kids Nope. You can catch us on TikTok. And don't be sending this TikTok video to nobody saying Corey said that you ain't. We're not doing that. But you can catch us on TikTok, Kingdom Kids Nope. And we also on Instagram, Kingdom Kids_Nope.
Absolutely. We love y'all.
See y'all.
Come on.
Bye.
Follow me. Follow me.